What's up, nerds? It's Rick Swift
And Madison Swift.
and Madison Swift, Rick Swift and Madison Swift of the Film Grouch Show, the world famous Film Grouch Show. We are huge in Colombia. Well, I saw we had somebody downloaded us in Colombia. So, as far as I'm concerned, we're huge. So, we, for Valentine's Day, we went to our favorite comic book store and we wanted to see what our next podcast would be. And we wanted to go ahead and get some inspiration while we were there. And while we were there, I had this feeling like I really wanted to get a new series or something that had to do with space and animals. And I used to play this game called Star Frontiers, a role-playing game, and I was just kind of wanting that have that experience again. And then we found this cool book series there. You want to talk about that?
Bravest Warriors.
Yeah, Bravest Warriors. Yeah, so Bravest Warriors, I saw it and I'm like, what is this? It looked funny. It had like these little cutesy animals and
It looks like that TV show for kids, Adventure Time.
yeah, I think it's the same animators or the same artists for sure. So I'm looking at Bravest Warriors, and then we had some kind of conversation, and I mentioned Pigs in Space.
Yeah.
And I loved Pigs in Space when I was a kid. I used to watch it on the Muppet Show all the time. And then I remembered, or I thought, that there was a movie based on Pigs in Space. And then you
You're
said,
horribly wrong. And then I said, well, what I would like to watch a Muppet movie for our next podcast movie. And then you said that you've never seen Muppets in Space. And I said, well, I have Muppets from Space, so let's watch that.
and I was euphoric on love, and I didn't realize
Oh my God.
that it wasn't Muppets in Space. I didn't realize until we got the DVD and put it in that I saw
And
that
we
it
were
said,
almost done with it.
and we saw that it wasn't, we were almost done with it. I mean, I noticed right away. I'm like, what is Muppets from Space? And you're like, remember, it's Muppets from Space. So I was setting my expectations incredibly low because I really wanted Pigs in Space. So I did not get Pigs in Space. That is for sure. So Madison, go ahead and tell us all about this amazing movie, Muppets from Space.
Well, Muppets from Space is a Gonzo-related movie. So if you like Gonzo, you'll enjoy Muppets from Space. So Gonzo is contacted through his breakfast cereal by some aliens. And he keeps getting messages from aliens through other various forms of communication, such as sandwiches and dreams and fish. And he ends up being encountered by some aliens, which, spoiler alert.
It came out in 1999. You can spoil it. Go ahead.
I'll spoil it. It ends up being his family.
I did some research today, and I found out that there was two other options that they were going to do with this movie. And I understand that Frank Oz wasn't too thrilled with the route that they took. And Kermit, the actor who played Kermit, I guess was giving an interview in Germany at one point when for whatever reason the Germans owned the Muppets, which was weird. But
Before Disney.
yeah, it was before Disney. Yet they still had the Muppet Show thing.
It was licensed to Disney, but Disney didn't own it yet.
Right. Anyway, he was saying, God, I really hope that Muppets from Space isn't the last movie that I make. I don't want to go out on that movie. So I was like, yeah, that's accurate. So anyway, they were originally going to have it be where Gonzo thought that he was going to have these aliens come and visit him, and he thought that he was an alien, and then they were going to be like, oh, you're not an alien, I'm sorry. Which I think would have been funnier, maybe mean. I do like Gonzo. Gonzo is actually one of my favorite characters. Obviously,
Mine too.
I related a lot to Gonzo growing up.
I like
nose.
Gonzo and Kermit a lot.
Yeah, of course. So, and the other one was Kermit was going to be abducted by aliens because they thought that he was their leader. That was the original concept.
So also, a second plot going on was there was a secret government agency called CovNet.
Yes, CovNet.
I don't remember what CovNet stood for, but they were tracking aliens, and they were also keeping an eye on this incoming alien invasion. But what was funny was they were going undercover as a cement truck.
Yeah,
company.
There was a cement truck company or something like that. What was funny?
That was just funny because that was their cover. And the main character there was played by Jeffrey Tambor, and he was a little crazy. His character.
He is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Agent
over the top.
Singer. Yeah, he was very over the top.
Which, let's face it, if you're in a Muppet movie,
you kind of have to be.
Fun.
Yeah.
Totally have fun. I mean, you might not ever get to do another one again. Mm-hmm. They never do actually explain what Covenant stood for, because I wrote that down too.
They did. They said it briefly in the beginning. I don't remember what it was.
Well, there you go. You guys have some homework. You can tell us what Covenant means. So I had some major problems with this movie. Mm-hmm. Originally, I put down Ben Kingsley was in this. No, it was not Ben Kingsley who played Noah in his dream. It was F. Murray Abraham. And I always get those actors confused. And again, that is my trademark. I confuse actors.
Yes, you do.
All the time. All the time.
That's why we have IMDb for.
I did laugh though when he's like, "You may need the." He's getting on the ark. This is his dream. This is the way the movie starts. He's getting on the ark, and Noah looks at him and he's like, "Oh, you can't come on here." It's like, sorry, this isn't for freaks or whatever. And he's like, "Oh," and then he leaves. And then Noah's like, "No, wait." Like, and then Gonzo's like, "Oh, great." And he's changed his mind, and he hands him an umbrella, and he's like, "You might need this."
Yeah, because it was the ark.
That was about the last time I laughed in the movie. Mm-hmm. God. This was one of the first times that the Muppets didn't use original songs in the movie.
No, but it had a really great soundtrack.
Yeah, it was like right out of Guardians of the Galaxy.
It was a lot of Motown hits. They played Brick House.
Yeah, she's a brick. And I found out that Ween was originally, they wanted Ween to record a cover of that. And they were like, no, we're not going to do it. Oh, I wrote down toilet shower? What the hell is that? Oh, Animal. Animal took a toilet shower. So they live in this house. That's one cool thing about the Muppets.
There were a lot of Muppets living in this house.
Yes.
A lot of them.
It reminded me, I want to say Muppets in Manhattan, the one where they live in like this house and there's just like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, and they're like all in there.
Yeah, they're all in there. And so Animal had to take a toilet shower because, you couldn't take any other one.
Fozzie Bear was too busy taking a shower while he was wearing his raincoat.
Yeah, and then he got upset when somebody opened the shower and he's in a raincoat. So that was kind of funny, I guess. Oh yeah, so the whole thing about his cereal talking to him was a nod to Close Encounters of the Third Kind when Richard Dreyfuss is building up the mashed potatoes and he's like, "This means something." Yeah. So there's a lot of that kind of thing where aliens are talking to us through different signs and stuff like that. Yeah. And they went on with that for a long time, but the whole time I was watching this movie, the whole time I kept going, "When are they going to space?" And you kept saying it's Muppets from Space, and I kept saying I want pigs in space.
There were no pigs in space, I'm sorry.
There weren't. There were no pigs.
Miss Piggy.
Yeah. That's true. Miss Piggy was in this. This was actually the last time Frank Oz was a puppeteer in a movie as well on the set. So, and Andy McDowell is in this for like 4 seconds for some reason. It wasn't even a cameo. It almost felt like she was originally supposed to have a bigger part in the movie and then didn't. If that makes any sense.
Well, that's because Miss Piggy stole her job.
Yeah. Oh, he does go to space for like in a dream sequence or something like that, or he's having a trip or something, and then he meets the cosmic fish.
The cosmic knowledge fish, and they say, "May the fish be with you."
May the fish be with you.
Yeah.
Yes, may the fish be with you, and also with you. And I did put like they had the Motown soundtrack, like Guardians of the Galaxy, but again, they weren't really in space.
No.
He mows "I Am Here" in his lawn. Oh, that was kind of funny. His friends knew that he was like losing his mind, and he would do crap if he told them like oh, the aliens are telling him to do shit, and they're like, let's tell them the aliens told him
build a spa,
build a jacuzzi.
Yeah.
And so Pepe and
Rizzo
probably they just like when he's asleep they give him like subliminal build a jacuzzi. And so he builds this full-on jacuzzi with a deck, and it's really big and nice, and I was like, that's a cool jacuzzi.
Yeah.
But obviously they the aliens really didn't want him to build a jacuzzi. So he has this
No.
big party with the jacuzzi, and the aliens don't come, so he's kind of bummed about that.
Yeah.
Rob Schneider was in this again for a minute. The Muppets are notorious for having cameos, even in the
Yeah.
Muppet Show. I found out Mark Hamill was actually on Pigs in Space, by the way, and so was C-3PO
That's
and
fitting.
R2-D2.
It's very fitting.
Pigs in Space.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan was in this.
Yes, brother. He
Yes.
was the bad
He
guy.
was the bad guy.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Hollywood now," because he was like, "Oh, Hulk, you're gonna save me," and he's
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I don't
no.
do that anymore, brother," or whatever. Oh, I wrote, was that Andrew Lincoln? There's no way Andrew Lincoln was in this. I'll have to go back and look at that, because yeah. Oh yeah, so Mrs. Piggy, she wants
Miss Piggy. She wasn't married.
Oh God, she wasn't married in 1999.
No.
Well, did they get divorced yet,
Oh, wait.
or whatever?
Didn't they get married?
They got married in Muppets Take Manhattan, or whatever it is. I now pronounce you Frog and Pig.
Well, in the credits, she's listed as Miss Piggy, so.
So Miss Piggy, like Ms. Pac-Man, like nobody really gives. I mean, oh, are you gonna tell your friends that she's single now? I don't know. Anyway, so Ms. Piggy is the coffee pig. They
Yeah,
call
she's
her
the coffee pig.
I put that down. I was like, okay. Oh, and then I wrote Men in Black. Oh, because like she beats the crap out of the Men in Black, who one of them is played by that guy that has that punchable face that was in everything in the 90s.
He was in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Oh, hey, excuse me. Excuse me, ho, yo, ho, hey, stud muffin, hold it.
I'll deal with her.
Oh, you deal with me. Look, chumpo, I'm just trying to get a story, okay?
How about this story? It's about a big bad wolf and a little pig.
No, that's 3 pigs, okay?
Not in this version.
Hey, wait a minute. You're not part of that alien protection agency. Who are you? Hey, where are you taking Gonzo? Hey! Hey!
I'm impressed. Black belt. 3rd degree.
Platinum belt with an unlimited line of credit.
I like this party.
Tough guy! Tough guy! Ha ha! Come on, show me! Oh, look, Cindy Crawford!
Yeah.
He was a clown dog guy.
Yeah, I actually liked this character in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote Mrs. Piggy versus Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead guy. Great news. Gonzo has been kidnapped by the government. So that's the thing that really irked me with this movie is, again, for the billionth time, and I'll probably say it again, they never go to space. So it's just the government covenant walking around. Oh, and Jeffrey Tambor is recognized as a lunatic by the government, by the generals and stuff. They're just like, why do you keep thinking that the aliens are talking to people? You're out of your freaking mind. And this time, the aliens were actually talking to Gonzo.
Yes, they were.
So
Because it was his family.
don't laugh at me, I wrote down. What
I wrote
was
that down
from?
too.
What was that from? It was right before Hulk Hogan.
It was when he was driving the cement truck.
Right.
Oh, that's when I wrote it down. That was what Ed kept saying. Jeffrey Tambor's character.
Oh, that's right.
He
I
didn't like when
underlined it.
People laughed at him.
Oh my God, that scene actually like jolted me. I mean, I don't want to scream into the mic, but he goes, "Don't laugh at me!"
Yes.
And I was like, actually disturbed. Yeah. Oh, and that was where I wrote, why would the government have rat jail? Because they kidnap Rizzo, who's trying to save him, and it isn't rat jail. You find out immediately.
They're lab rats.
They're lab rats. But guess who the doctor is? David Arquette.
That's right. It was David Arquette.
And we recently found out, watching Kitchen Rules.
My Kitchen Rules.
My Kitchen Rules.
Yeah. That was like a year or two ago.
Yeah, it was almost 2 years ago now. That David Arquette loves puppets. He like loves them.
It was like ventriloquist dummies, I think.
Yeah, he had like, okay, so real quick segue. My Kitchen Rules was this show where they had celebrities, and they would have the celebrities come over to other celebrities' houses
and
cook for them, and then the celebrities would, you get eliminated and stuff like that.
Yeah, they had famous chefs.
Yeah, that's right. They had
grading them.
Yeah, grading them, and then also the celebrities, and then
yeah.
Andrew Dice Clay and his wife won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But when they went to David Arquette's house, he had like puppets out at the dinner table.
It was weird.
And they were like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, these are my friends. And he was
Yeah.
like, and so I looked up today. Why isn't David Arquette in every Muppet movie? Like he was in this, and he should have been in all the Muppet movies after this too.
Mm-hmm.
So he was apparently in 2002's It's a Very Muppet Christmas Movie,
Oh.
but that was it. And I wrote, what happened? Like
Yeah.
what happened? How do you stop being in the Muppets?
Maybe he molested a Muppet.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, you do kind of, get your hand up in there.
I'm not trying to start that rumor.
Please, David.
Please, David Arquette. I did not
Arquette.
try to start that rumor.
She loves you. It's fine.
I have nothing against David Arquette.
Aha. Another good cameo. Ray Liotta.
Oh, yes.
He actually did a really good job in this because he plays a security guard that's kind of been like manipulated by Ms. Piggy's like love potion spray or something like that.
Well, let's talk about. Excuse me.
Oh, you're dying.
I am dying. Let's talk about when the Muppets went to go. The rest of the Muppets went to go break into the secret government facility that was being disguised as the cement truck place to rescue Gonzo and Rizzo, because Rizzo was also taken.
Yeah.
And they had all of the, what's the guy's name? Oh, Honeydew, Professor Honeydew.
Yeah, and Beaker.
And Beaker.
Oh, Beaker was in this too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they gave them those weapons, those weird weapons.
The weird weapons, man.
What
I'm
are those
blanking.
called?
I'm drawing a blank.
The helper devices.
The helper devices? The weapon helper devices? What the hell are you talking about?
All the things that, excuse me, the things that they gave them to help them break in and rescue Gonzo and Rizzo.
Oh, like
the
when,
door
like,
in the
like,
jar
okay, like when
and
Q,
the mist stuff.
right, like when Q and James Bond gives them all the gadgets.
Yeah, the
they gave
gadgets.
Miss Piggy the love spray that would make you
spray that would make him do whatever he wants, whatever she wants him to do.
Okay,
and
so
the
what
door
did they?
in the
What
jar,
did
and the invisible stuff.
Oh, that was the door in a jar.
Yes.
I wrote door in a jar. That's what it was.
And they had invisible spray that was in a rubber ducky.
Yeah, for some damn reason.
That was weird.
It made no sense at all.
And then it wore off, and then you see like
Fozzie washed his hands.
Fozzie washed his hands, and he washed it off. So then you see a pair of hands, and then he was picking his nose, and then Pepe was in a ballerina costume.
Yeah, that was really bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh, and then She Who Shall Not Be Named made her
I wasn't even gonna
big
mention
moment.
Because she nasty.
She nasty. That's funny.
Anyways.
Oh, and then they're gonna take out Gonzo's brain to analyze it.
Yes.
And the doctor's like, he's about to do it, and then Gonzo's like, wait, does my HMO cover this? And he's like, oh, let me check.
And then he looked it up on the computer, and it only cost him a $10 copay.
Oh, the days when you could get a brain sucking for only $10.
$10? That's cheap.
I wrote before Obamacare. It was a $10 copay for a brain removal.
Yes.
Okay, ID4. They did have a really good ID4.
I wrote that an homage to ID4.
Sadly, Adam Baldwin was not in this to shoot the glass.
No, he was not in it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But Ray Liotta, I did find out that Ray Liotta, because I'm like, I thought he was in another Muppet. He was in the Muppets Most Wanted movie in 2014. Yeah, I watched that one. It was actually not bad for a sequel to the much better Muppet movie with Jason Segel, who loves puppets. Loves them.
Yes, he does. He loves them. We found that out in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yes. So, do you know anything about this director of this movie?
No.
Without looking it up?
No, not without looking it up.
His name is Tim Hill, and he directed 2011's Hop.
Oh, I enjoyed that movie. That was a good one.
Yeah, you really liked that one. I was like, eh. But nothing really stood out on his resume other than that. But he is going to be doing a new movie in 2020, a SpongeBob movie.
Oh.
It's a Wonderful Sponge. So I'm guessing that's going to be a Christmas movie, but I don't know.
I enjoyed the party that they had at the end, and there were a couple of cameos in that one too, including 2 of the actors from Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. You know why they were there?
Because they filmed on the next soundstage or whatever.
Yeah, they were filming in Wilmington, right?
Yeah.
Where Brendan, my best man, was actually in Black Knight because he was over in Wilmington during that time. And he was actually Dawson's stand-in on Dawson's Creek a few times. So, Yeah, I'm familiar with that area.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that there's a lot of films that get made there, so
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of funny.
Tax breaks.
That's the whole reason they were there.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're what is it, Joshua Jackson
Mm-hmm.
and
Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes,
Former Mrs. Tom Cruise.
and you're the age they were, probably in their late teens, early 20s or whatever,
Yeah.
and you find out there's a Muppet movie being made on the lot,
Heck yeah.
you're gonna do whatever. You're gonna be like, I'm getting on that movie. Like, what do I need to do? Because I'd want to be there. But then it's such a letdown the way the movie ends. And that was one of the things I think Frank Oz mentioned is we didn't get what we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they had to rush production for some reason. I looked into that. They had to like rush production, and so they kind of had to not go where they wanted to go with a lot of the stuff. And I think it would have been a better story if he wasn't an alien, or if when the aliens came down, they didn't just have a jam session, and then they have a jam session. They're like, "Hey, Gonzo, what's going on, man? Welcome to," and then they don't take him, just like the Ark. He doesn't even get to go.
They offered to take him, but he didn't want to go.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, why didn't he go?
Because his real family is the Muppets.
Yeah, I get that, I guess. But going to space? The Dance on the Moon with Dracula?
Oh my god. Dracula wasn't even in this one.
I know.
Anyways.
Or the Count. The Count was not in this either.
The Countess from Sesame Street.
That is Muppets, yo.
But that's Sesame Street Muppets.
So I said, if you love space, this movie is not for you. If you like funk and soul music, just listen to that and watch Guardians of the Galaxy.
But if you like the Muppets and Gonzo, you'll like this.
I like the Muppets and Gonzo. I that's why this never made it on my radar. One, I was overseas when this one came out, and in 1999,
That was your chair.
that was my phone.
Oh.
Oh, I feel so much better now. No,
Beans.
I was overseas, and in 1989, there was this other movie that came out that was like a lot more, 1999. What came out in 1999?
Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Yes, it did. It came out in 1999, and I guess on the DVD release, special features. So yeah, so I found out that Kermit in character on the DVD was doing his commentary for the movie, but then he accidentally ended up on the wrong movie and started doing commentary for the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Which is funny when you think about it now, because Disney owns like all of them now.
Disney's trying to take over the world.
Trying, hell, they have. I mean, they bought Fox. They have all those shows now. Do they own The Simpsons now too?
I believe so.
Oh my God, Disney owns The Simpsons. How weird is that? Seems like
they must
a
be
problem.
licensing them to Universal Studios then.
Yeah, well, just like they do with the Marvel stuff and everything. Every time you go to, we live in South Florida, and every time you go to Universal, every time you buy a Spider-Man shirt or whatever it is, Disney makes money.
Disney.
So imagine been working at Universal and knowing that all your money, like a good fair chunk of it or whatever, is going to your competitor right down the road. It's kind of funny. Again,
Wow.
Lawyers ruin everything for everybody. What else? Oh, I said that kid's 40 now. That's the thing that I say. What kid? What kid was in this that I would have said that
No
about?
kids.
There was a kid at the end.
No.
Oh yeah, they jammed out the celebrate good times. Come on.
Do, let's celebrate.
So why does Ed get to go?
Because he was weird and he fit in.
He's a dick. He actually tries to attack them, and then the lead alien is like, "Oh, you're funny as hell." And remember, he said, "Don't laugh at me," earlier. So I was like, "Oh, he's gonna shoot everybody." Now, if I wrote this, that's exactly how it would have ended. It would have ended in a bloodbath. Probably not a very good Muppet movie, though.
No.
But, and you haven't seen it yet, Happy Time Murders. There is definitely a lot of puppet carnage in that. That's more my speed,
Is
I
there
think, these
blood or
days.
stuffing?
Oh, I don't want to ruin it for you. I'm probably one of the only critics that liked that freaking movie, and I don't even care because we went with, I went with my buddy who had never gone to a screening with me yet, and we couldn't believe how over the top ridiculous it was. So we were just laughing the whole freaking time at just how insane it is. It's a joke that you think is going to get old really fast, but for some reason it just didn't to me. I don't know. I'm easily amused. But yeah, Ed gets to go to space. Unlike me, I never got to go to space in this movie.
Sorry.
Oh, there was a scene at the end where the extras looked bored. As the ship was leaving, they were like, I'm like, dude, a spaceship just landed, a bunch of aliens came out, sang Celebration, which is mind-boggling. The fact that they knew the music and could speak, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. How did aliens know that song?
Hey, because they can speak to the cereal, man.
And the sandwiches.
And the sandwich. Oh, I forgot all about the sandwich. So yeah, when he's in the prison or whatever, and they're about to suck his brains out, and his sandwich starts talking to him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I'm just occupying this sandwich while I can talk to you from space, and then I'm gonna like take off, and then you can totally eat this sandwich." And he's like, "Have you left yet?" And he's like, "No, I'm still here."
Yeah.
You'd have ate that damn sandwich, especially if you knew they were about to suck your brains out.
I love sandwiches. Of course I would have.
I like sandwiches. So I wrote, how did this movie end up with a 6.3 on IMDb?
Because it's the Muppets.
But man, I guess people are just hungry for this. I think a lot of it is the generation that watched it, because they are people that like grew up watching Dawson's Creek and that kind of stuff.
I bet if you watched it when it came out, you would have liked it better.
No. Better, yes. I still wouldn't have liked it though, because that was one of the things I didn't like the Muppets in the 90s when they redid that whole Muppets Tonight and they brought in all those weird characters and that purple guy, and they were kind of trying to phase Kermit into the background. I didn't care for that too much. I didn't care for the new one that they did recently on ABC or whatever it was either, where it was all like The Office. And again, I hadn't seen The Office yet, so I didn't realize that a lot of these were like bits that they were doing from The Office, and maybe I would have appreciated it more, but I definitely didn't appreciate that they got freaking divorced. And then Kermit's like dating some other
Nikki Pig or whatever her name was.
Pig. Oh my god. The hate
Yeah.
that woman, that pig got.
I don't know why they had to
pig.
break up Kermit and Miss Piggy. That was dumb.
Yeah. It's like, no.
It's like breaking up Barbie and Ken.
Oh, there you go.
Don't do that. Just don't do it.
Oh, that's going to happen now. You just put it
They
out
did
into the
already.
universe. Oh, they did? Oh.
Yeah,
well,
that
there
already
you go.
happened.
I don't know anything about Barbie, so.
Tiny shoulders.
So again, the film was not the film that I felt that I was promised. Some of the scene killers I had were that stupid purple puppet who ruined the Muppets for me in the 90s, that stupid band at the end coming down to take Gonzo, but they ended up taking Tambor, and any scene with she who shall not be named. Annie McDowell might as well have not even been in this movie. I said maybe she feels the same way now. Scene stealers, Pepe and that bear. Oh, the bear. Jeffrey Tambor's bear was awesome. Oh, he's a guy that always, okay. He's very matter of fact, and he's very positive. Like, he will make everything positive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you just cut your foot off with a mower or whatever. Well, I mean, now you don't have to buy as many shoes.
Yeah,
he'd say something like that. He was very
a funny
positive.
bear.
Yeah, I liked him and Pepe. This was the first time Pepe, I guess, had lines or something in a movie, or I don't know. I saw something about where this was Pepe's big debut, and I didn't always like Pepe, but he has grown on me. I gotta admit, he has definitely grown.
I
on
love
me.
Pepe.
He was good on that new Muppet show.
Yeah.
The one I was just talking about. I liked his character in that. Gonzo did okay with what he had to work with, which wasn't much, kind of. It was almost like everything was happening around him instead of to him. And again, Ray Liotta was in this. He was also in Muppets Most Wanted, which was not as good as the one with Jason Segel, but it was still 10 times better than this movie. David Arquette is in love with puppets, and he's clearly insane, but he's like good insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel like they dropped the ball big time on this, considering that The Phantom Menace was coming out the same year. There were so many things they could have done, even without worrying about trademark and copyright and all that other stuff. There was a lot of different things that they could have done, even not knowing what the hell was going to happen in The Phantom Menace, because nobody did in 1999.
That's true.
I just felt they should have done more with space. Even if we don't see him go to space, show more scenes with like the cosmic fish of knowledge or whatever, and the aliens. Maybe show them getting lost or something. I don't know. Show them. It wasn't like when you see the aliens at the end, it was that big and dramatic. I'm sure that's what they were going for, but it didn't seem like that to me. It just felt like, yep, we're at the end now. What do you say? What say you?
Well, in an alien invasion movie, you don't see it from the alien perspective. You just see it from the Earth perspective.
Yeah, but I felt they could have done more with... They had a lot of opportunity. That house was so cool. Where the Muppets lived, they could have done more bits with that. And then I found out that this was the first time that a couple of the characters that were voiced by... oh, God, I'm drawing a blank. Well, Jim Henson, but the other guy, I guess, Richard Hunt. Mm-hmm. Scooter, he passed away.
Yes.
And then obviously Jim Henson passed away. So this was, I guess, the first time that they only had a couple lines. Like Rolf only had one line. He goes, "Ugh," when he sees the breakfast and stuff like that.
And Scooter only had one line.
Yeah, Scooter only had one line. So a lot of the Muppets that you really like and are into, they didn't have a lot of playtime in this movie. There's a lot more of the people with lines than the Muppets. I did like that they didn't break out in a song every 5 minutes. I actually like that, even though I like that sometimes. If it's done right, if it's organic, I like it, which is kind of hard to put songs in movies organically, but there's ways to do it. So that's really all I have to say about this movie, really. I didn't hate it. Again, it's a Muppet movie, so I didn't hate it. Mm-hmm. I do love the Muppets, but I just wanted to see Pigs in Space. And then I looked, there's no movie. I thought maybe there was a movie that went by my radar, but there wasn't.
No. Pigs in Space is all in your head.
I guess. I'm just one of my pigs in space, man. Final thoughts?
I love the Muppets.
I also love the Muppets. I actually have a, what do you call it? A dummy. A ventriloquist dummy that I got at Epcot.
That has nothing to do with the Muppets.
No, but he's a puppet. And you know I love puppets.
I was wearing my Miss Piggy dress when we went to Tate's.
Yes, you were wearing your Miss Piggy dress. That's true. That was another thing that inspired us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I wanted to say thank you very much for listening to our podcast. This is our fourth one, you and I.
Yes.
My fifth one that I've done on the Film Grouch show now.
Yes.
I'm also a co-host on Faking Star Wars radio, which is part of the fakingstarwars.net site, where I started doing that as a co-host with Duper Storm and IG69, and we just talk about Star Wars, and we make up a bunch of... It's like the Onion for Star Wars is the way I would describe it. It's a lot of fun to do. I really enjoy doing the podcasts because I love talking about Star Wars. I love space.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. Oh, one little thing I wanted to add. Supposedly, Space Force is going to be stationed here in Florida.
That's awesome.
And one of my friends used to work for the Space Shuttle program, not directly for NASA, but a contractor for NASA. And I'm really hopeful that this move will afford him the opportunity to work back on spacecrafts. And, there's a lot of cool things going on. I heard SpaceX is actually going to the moon.
8:45 tonight, I think.
Yeah, tonight.
Well, by the time you listen to this, it will have already taken off.
Are there going to be people on it?
I'm not sure.
Because I was about to make a joke, and then I didn't want to make a joke if there's going to be people on it. So
I'm not sure.
I won't make a joke. Because I remember the Challenger and everything like that.
No,
so
we're not going to make any jokes.
We're not going to make any jokes.
But by the time you listen to this, hopefully SpaceX will have taken off successfully.
And be on the moon, and there'll be little nanobots, and
that would be so
people.
Cool.
Yeah, we were just talking about last night.
Yeah.
How do you go to the moon and then you're just done? You're like, we've been there.
No, we need to go back there. We need to explore.
You're bored with the
moon?
moon? You want to go dance with Dracula up there?
Oh my gosh. All right.
Okay, so we are very happy that you have listened to us. We hope that you will subscribe, that you will rate us and review us. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your coworkers, tell your priest, tell your pets. I mean, God knows we have enough, or we don't have enough. We have pets. I know how you are about that. You want 1,000 pets.
Yes, I do.
You want 1,000 cats.
Yes, I do.
So David Arquette, hopefully you will listen to this and realize that you need to get yourself in another Muppet movie, man. It's been too long. And we know Ray Liotta, he'll probably get in another one because he seems to like these. Be sure and check us out on Twitter and Instagram at FilmGrouch. And you can find this podcast on Podbean under the Film Grouch Show. And again, we're on iTunes. We just went up on Spotify yesterday, so I'm excited about that. I'm still trying to figure out how to get the Alexa to just play the podcast for me by just saying play my podcast. But so far, I'm still working on that. We're getting ourselves into the smart technology craze. So I'm gonna end with this: Pigs in Space. We love you. Goodbye.